when you're thinking poor, you will stay poor. When you're thinking about the guy that you like all the time, then you won't find anyone new. Hi everyone, my name's Heba and this is my YouTube channel. This is Tanya, my flatmate best friend, who's come to join us. We really wanted to film this video because we were talking about it last night and we felt like we should really film this because it's super helpful. So Tanya, can you just say a little spritzel about yourself?
So, I am a practicing tarot card reader and I'm currently studying psychotherapy and humanistic therapy.
Yeah, so basically Tanya's very new to like filming things, but I really wanted to get Tanya on board with this video because she is studying therapy and she does very much tie in her life with things to do with spirituality and consciousness and obviously the tarot reading as well. And so I feel like she is like the most legit person I know to talk about this. And what we wanted to discuss is essentially recently there's been a lot of advice on kind of stemming from that film or book The Secret about
The law of attraction.
Yeah, so what you think you manifest, and obviously you still need to take actions to manifest that. However, arguably what we're thinking is thinking positively can actually hold you back instead of pushing you forwards in some ways. And we're not saying to not think positively, but if we kind of delve into that.
It's more if you're not acknowledging the negative. So I think a lot of these books tell you not to acknowledge your negative points in your life, which I think is damaging because you're sort of pushing them down. You're not confronting them the way that you should be doing.
Yeah, and I don't think I think there are certain people who talk about the law of attraction. They do say that you can acknowledge your negative feelings or the feelings of hurt, then you have to move on from it, and that is a good tool to use. However, a very, very, very large majority of them talk a lot about when you're thinking poor, you will stay poor. When you're thinking about the guy that you like all the time, then you won't find anyone new. And it's like, well, believe it or not, I am thinking about the freaking guy that things ended with not so long ago. Like, and I can't, like, you know, because something that did happen to me recently where something ended with a guy I really liked, and I was constantly forcing myself to not think about him, and now, months down the line, I'm still thinking about him. And it's because I'm suppressing.
Yeah, you'd always come in and speak to me and be like, I don't want to think about it, it's too negative. And
guys, the camera kept cutting out like over and over, so we're going to try and remember where we hit off. So we were saying when you try and be positive all the time and not acknowledge your feelings, they stay inside.
Yeah, so if you're not thinking about something, it doesn't mean it's not there.
Still, the energy, it's all festering inside.
It's weird because like I've only started, so I've been into therapy. So if you look at my bookshelves, there's like books on personal growth and everything like that I've had for years and years, but I've only been a student in therapy since October, but then I was doing online courses before that during lockdown, and then before that I've done tarot for like 5 years. I was a student at the London College of Psychic Studies, and obviously all that's quite spiritual and about energies. So before, I was very much sort of like positivity, affirmations. Now
you were the one who got me into all of that, like the spiritual side of things and the energies, just everything that has energy to it and what you're radiating and what's coming in. And
yeah, and that's, I mean, that's still true. I definitely believe that's still true, but I think now that I've gone down more sort of scientific route as well, and looked into neurology and everything, It
cut off again, you guys, but carrying on from what you were saying.
So what I was saying was, if you don't confront your negative thoughts or emotions, like trauma lives in your body. So when people say, I mean, I do agree with the whole positive thinking, obviously, you know, it's not good to dwell on bad things, but you need to acknowledge them and confront them and work through them and then carry on with a positive mindset, as opposed to, I don't know, I kind of feel that a lot of these messages or books or YouTube videos kind of tell you not to acknowledge any of your negative thoughts or anything and sort of push them aside, in other words. and I think that's quite dangerous.
Yeah, I think the ones that we're referencing to is when you talk about manifestation and the secret stuff. What's it called? The
Law of attraction.
Law of attraction. Because a lot of, like, there's people that I literally watch this day and I'll continue to watch, but I do think that with certain people who listen to those videos, they're gonna be swayed, like, in the wrong direction. So things like this one guy who I listen to all the time, he says, if you go and buy reduced stuff from the supermarket, you're essentially telling the universe that you're poor and you're gonna stay like that. I don't think every single person on this earth who's bought reduced stuff is poor, like, or gonna be poor forever. No. Do you know what I mean? So I think it can be a bit scaremongering, and if not dealt with in the right way. Yeah. And let's say hypothetically he's right. Let's say what he said is right. Then what do? You spend your whole life being inauthentic and not being true to yourself, and then beating yourself up for wanting a reduced sandwich from the reduced sandwich aisle. Is that a life to live? Like, it just feels like a lot of pressure for people.
Is that the scarcity
Watch every
mindset?
move.
Is that the scarcity?
Yeah, it's the scarcity mindset. So if you shop in the reduced aisle, or if you're constantly thinking of prices, it means that you have a scarcity mindset. So it's a very good thing to be conscious of.
I think it's good to be careful with money, though. I think that's, I think a lot of people, it really depends on how you approach it.
Yeah, like the other day I really, really, really wanted this vegan Christmas sandwich from Marks and Spencer's.
Yeah.
And it was reduced, and I didn't buy it because it was reduced, because literally that morning I watched a video about if you buy from the reduced aisle, then you're basically telling the universe that you want to struggle for the rest of your life, and I got paranoid because I was like, okay, I'll buy the expensive stuff. No, I ended up starving. I ended up not even buying anything. I bought dark chocolate Rice Krispie
The most
cakes.
expensive ones.
Yeah, the most expensive ones, and they made me feel ill because they weren't lunch. It was lunchtime. I didn't get the reduced vegan sandwich because actually all the sandwiches all the vegan sandwiches were reduced because it was a Sunday, and so I just ate dark chocolate crackers, and then I came home and I was really ill, and you were home.
What was I eating?
I had to run to the bathroom. I know that's a lot of TMI.
Oh my god, was it that day?
Yeah, it was that day. Anyway, okay, so going back to this, because guys, our camera keeps cutting out, so we have to be really quick on this. So what is the conclusion of what we're trying to explain so that people understand
without
what we're saying? Without flipping and flopping and being confused.
That's how we talk, by the way. Just acknowledge your negative thoughts and work through them.
This is from a therapist, by the way. This is from someone studying therapy.
I am studying therapy. No. I will be.
No. She's studying it. Yeah.
Just acknowledge and work through your negative thoughts. I wouldn't say listening to his videos about just think positively and set your mind to thinking positive things, which you should do. You should have a positive mindset, but don't ignore your negative emotions. If you want to be angry, be angry. If you want to feel sad, feel sad. Acknowledge why you're feeling sad and work through it.
Okay, so then you work through it, and then me and Tanya were talking earlier how it's really important to try and cultivate the good habit of thinking positively, because it raises your vibration, which ties in with the video I've said before, because when you raise your vibration, the energy actually radiates from you, that good energy. But I also think we need to just embrace all of our seasons, from the negatives to the positives.
Yes.
So what advice would you give to someone who wants to buy the reduced sandwich but also wants to be rich, like my situation?
Don't eat chocolate. What's it? Crackers, chocolate rice cakes. Just buy from if there's something that you want in the reduced section, buy that, because I'd do that. I would literally.
But you would do it without a scarcity mindset?
No, I would do it. Look, it's cheaper, and it's exactly the same thing. It's cheaper. I'll get that, but I wouldn't literally be there like, I'm only going to buy from the reduced section, so, oh look, there's only peas and carrots left, so I'm only going to have peas and carrots for dinner. I would be like, okay, let me get this, and then I'll get, like, whatever to go with
Okay, so
it.
if you like it, so, like, you don't buy from the reduced section because it's reduced, you buy because you actually like what's in the reduced section.
Yeah, you pay cheaper for something that you were going to get anyway. I think it's common sense. You kind of... You want the same thing, you're going to eat it that night, you want the same thing, why spend £2 or £3 more? I don't think that kind of makes you go, I'm a pauper. I'm going to tell the universe I'm a pauper. But don't limit yourself to just eating whatever's in the reduced section, because then
that is scarcity mindset, because that's basically saying I'm not deserving of anything else other than this reduced stuff, and I'm going to eat it even though I don't like it.
Yeah.
And then what would you say to someone who's trying to, let's say, like with me, like me and this guy, like things ended with him and I suppressed my feelings for so long. Now I still freaking like him and it's been like 3 months. So it's just like, I felt like I've been tormenting myself. I don't know, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to overcome negative feelings of someone that things had maybe ended with?
I think...
But then also overcoming it in a healthy way.
I think, I mean, when it was, because obviously we've spoken a lot about this, and I think there was a lot of, do you remember we had a conversation and it all went back to like the whole like respect thing and everything?
Just seeing where the pain stems from?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so I think, because there was a lot of barriers there, and that's obviously, have you spoken about what happened? With
No.
that? Okay.
We don't have to delve.
So I think with that, obviously... there was a lot of, I think there was a defense mechanism there, which wouldn't allow you to really acknowledge what you were feeling. Because I remember, you know, it was almost as if you felt you shouldn't be feeling that pain for someone.
Like, I'm this badass bitch who doesn't need to care about guys.
Exactly. So you were almost...
Single, independent woman.
Oh, because I remember you were like, you know, it's lowering my vibration, I shouldn't be feeling this way, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, the it is what it is mindset is something that's helped me a lot. But you were doing it in a way where you were like, I shouldn't feel sad, I shouldn't feel this pain. And I think maybe because you haven't allowed yourself to feel that pain, you are still feeling it.
Yeah.
And I think that came from a defense mechanism where you felt like you shouldn't be feeling that.
Yeah, and I think the key thing is to see where everything stems from. So actually sitting and facing it and going, is it the actual guy? Is it his actions? Is it the lack of respect? Or is it me? Is it literally... In my situation, I think a lot of it was me, because I wasn't in the mental state to deal with dating, I guess, because I struggle with... You know that bit between when you're not boyfriend, girlfriend, but you're not early stages? I struggle with that so much, and I get all this stuff from my past that comes up, and I'm like, fear of abandonment and unsureness. Unsureness? What's the word? Uncertainty of things.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden all this stuff triggers, which actually means that I run away from the situation, and I think that works for me. I don't think that works for everyone, because I can make things worse. If I don't step away from a situation, I can actually make things worse. But that also doesn't help when you want to be in a relationship. I mean, you have to learn to like solve that, because then I'm gonna end up being single. See, this is my manifestations. Okay, so it cut out again. Anyway, so I was just saying, even me talking about saying the word single makes me freak out that I'm gonna manifest that for the rest of my life, because that's not what I want to be for the rest of my life. But anyway. Okay, attachment style.
I was saying, if anyone's interested in what he was just saying about, you know, running away from a situation before getting too close and things like that, look up attachment styles, because it's really interesting. It's a theory which relates to relationships and childhood and romantic relationships and the way that you'd react or behave in adult life. So yeah, look that up.
That's really interesting. That's really good advice that I haven't done before. And also, basically in conclusion, is positive thinking toxic? Don't let it be toxic. Positive thinking can be a really great thing. Don't let it get to that level of toxicity. Don't beat yourself up if you're thinking negatively, because at the end of the day, we need to process this. It's being a human being. I still have to work on that myself, because I feel like I've kind of been brainwashed by all this manifestation. These videos,
especially during lockdown. Time. Like, it's ridiculous to think that we're not going to be affected by this.
Yeah, so I think that we should delve into this further when my camera actually has memory. I'm just going to get another card.
Yeah,
that's it. Anyway, guys, I hope this helped you. If it did, please leave a comment, thumbs up. Leave a comment to let us know if you liked it, because we can do lots more of these videos, really delve into it more. Don't forget to subscribe. We will be posting, well, I will be posting lots more videos, and hopefully we'll have Tanya back on board. Tanya's moving out. She's not going to be my flatmate forever, so we do want to film more videos before she goes, and then I'm going to be a loner and live on my own.
Film it by the sea.
Come live by the sea.
Actually, as if you're going to bring your camera to the sea.
I will, maybe. And then, yeah, that's it. Mwah. Have a lovely day, week, life, month, year, day, night, sleep, morning.